Good evening, folks. Time for some more Delve thoughts, I suppose. Just doing a little bit of leveling of the Paladin.
One moment.
Anyhow, I thought we'd talk about James Bond. Gonna be a little break from World of Warcraft here. So, here's the thing about James Bond. There's like the movie versions that we're all
May I
familiar
help
with.
you?
You know, it's got oh, Daniel Craig and God, Sean Connery and all sorts of people. You know, Timothy Dalton. But there's also the book version.
This is for you.
And the book version is substantially different. Although they do kind of talk about him a little bit. Or sort of, move around the edges of it
My eyes on you.
a little bit. Specifically in the Daniel Craig Casino Royale movie. So, one of the, big deals about him, and this might just be me reading too much into it, but his penis doesn't work.
Speak no
Which
more.
I realize is a weird thing to say, but so if you saw the Daniel Craig movie of Casino Royale, you know that at the end of it they've got him naked and strapped to a chair, and the bad guy's like smacking him right in the nuts with this heavy cord. Now, in the book version of this,
Precious gift.
rather than using a big heavy chunk of cord, he uses like a badminton racket and literally shreds James Bond's penis. Like absolutely destroys it. At the end of the movie, they have two people talking about like, oh, he's lucky to be alive, and they like what can we do? Just he's probably leaving this service because he's like in love with Vesper. Vesper being the name of the love interest. Go figure. And talking about like, oh yes, he's in love with Vesper, he's going to leave the service, he's going to go and finally settle down. Or maybe he's not even going to leave the service because, we'll talk about the other stuff. But basically, they're talking about like, oh, well, will he ever be able to have kids or anything? And the particular answer given is that they were lucky to just restore normal function. So like his bathing suit region has been just absolutely shredded. And the reason I bring this up is because Casino Royale is one of the first novels. So followed up by From Russia with Love, and that one has its own sort of quirks to it. But the big thing is that James Bond is like, he's ready to hang the guns up. He talks about, having to kill a, it was a Chinese person. And they, again, show that in Casino Royale, where he's having to kill somebody.
Time to sleep.
And it's just like he's good at it, mostly not because he's all that good at it, it's mostly just because he has no moral qualms. James Bond is not a nice man, as you might expect from someone who makes his living killing people. Well, although that's get there. So yeah, just
I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target.
so you can only really look at James Bond after reading Casino Royale, is my particular thought, because that explains who he is and why he does the many horrific things that he does throughout all the books and the movies, although they tend to pussyfoot around it a lot more in the movies than the books, as is often the case.
I need to target something first.
But yeah, I mean, like, you might remember a character by the name of Pussy Galore. The novels describe their encounter as having the sweet tinge of rape. Yeah, it's like I said, James Bond, not the nicest of fellows.
I need to get this. This is for you.
And you know, so he is. Well, let's talk about who he is. So, who he is someone who is just not burdened by much in the way of a moral conscience. You know, that's why he has the 00 license. You know, that's why he can go out and, you know, kill people, because it's actually really hard to get people to kill people unless you are a psychopath. So, what part of the reason that he still maintains, you know, killing people is because his, like, the big love interest in From Russia with Love is this woman called Vesper. And Vesper is actually a double agent. The Russians have some info on her, and they are actively using that info to, well, info is probably a light way to put it. They've kidnapped her fiance. And they are threatening to kill him if she doesn't provide them with the information that she needs. Or, well, not that she needs, that they need. So, despite being an intelligent operative, because she's in love with him, she is feeding the Russians a whole lot of information. And at the end of the book, she hangs herself from a ceiling fan because she basically gets a, you know, package in the mail that has like the guy's fingers or something in it that says, hey, he's dead now. And she can't live with the guilt of that because she had managed to fall in love with good old Mr. James Bond. Sorry, Farokin, you just didn't make it. What killed you?
Let's talk.
Oh, collaborative mage. Okay. So.
This is for you.
You've got this guy who basically cannot maintain a relationship to save his life.
I need a target.
Well, more precisely, he can maintain a relationship, but he can do it for about, 2-3 months, and then it all falls apart because, he just can't do it more than that. It's too much for him, and beyond that too, he's a very boring person outside of when he's on the job. He is an entirely mid-level, I'm not even sure he's an analyst, he's just like a bureaucrat. He moves papers from one side of the room to the other, and relies more heavily on his secretary to handle stuff than anything else.
Target something first.
So he's, just middle management, to put it easily. He's not in charge of anything. He's well trusted, but his entire purpose and whatnot is just kind of hanging out.
For you.
Doesn't do much more than that. He's not known for being like the best at what he does. The main thing that he does have is a willingness to kill people, and so that's what he gets. So oddly enough, he's very much more gross point blank than anything else, except his wiener don't work.
Be quiet.
So when you get into the later books, like From Russia with Love.
I don't have a target.
Well, before we talk about From Russia with Love, let's finish with how Casino Royale ends. Because what happens is that the particular Russians that are blackmailing Vesper have, they're dipping into the pot. They are double dealing, they're stealing a lot of stuff, and we're all familiar with the term of like the KGB, but there's another group called Schmers, which kind of translates to like spy smasher. And one of these agents is who rescues James Bond. Goes in, he kills everybody in the room, and then he carves Cyrillic letters onto James Bond's hand as this sign of like, hey, death to spies, but I haven't been told to kill you, and if you don't have to kill somebody, you don't. That's why they hire sociopaths instead of psychopaths. So then in From Russia with Love,
Speak no more.
get out of that.
I don't think so.
So in From Russia with Love, he basically is told by someone, or, well, I shouldn't put it that way. Russia decides to create a scandal. So they get one of their low-level, I believe she's a typist, actually.
Speak no more.
Just a secretary, and they say like, hey, here's one of our spy machines, and here's a picture of this English spy. Fall in love with him, and it's going to be your job to give him this, encoding machine, because it's like broken, and you're going to be doing the right stuff, but you're going to be falling in love with James Bond anyhow, so whatever. And so she does, and the Russians have their own double agent who does appear in the movie From Russia with Love. And this guy's an actual psychopath because he wants to kill everybody. And to make a long story short, they manage to kill him, but the love interest dies. By the way, the love interest, the subplot specifically with the love interest is that she is being forced into a bizarre lesbian relationship with someone who's not quite her handler, but kind of is her handler. Gimme. Big XP. Big XP.
Have you anything new to research? Remember, there's magic in discovery.
Not as big as I hoped. So, itchy feet. I should probably record this again when I have an actual script. So, you have, yeah, so into the movie, or book, this handler stabs James Bond with a poison needle. Like, it's pretty clear that at some point Ian Fleming was like, I'm just kind of done with this.
This creature can be rather temperamental.
The books were too successful to let him go. But yeah, so you've got that one, you've got Dr. No, you've got Goldfinger. Pretty much any novel where you have, you know, James Bond out there consorting with various love interests, like, he has pretty much zero feeling in his wiener, and because it's a lump of scar tissue that he can pee with and ejaculate. So when he is dealing with any particular issues or whatever, like, his only thoughts are, have, and always will be just like, he doesn't really get the same pleasure from sex, at least physically, so he has to get it I would say somewhere between emotionally and yeah, this was easy. Somewhere through the conflicts of emotional manipulation and you know, just physically is not the right word for it, but it's, you know, the act of, you know, forcefully having his way with these women. You know, that's just the way of it. That's how it works for him, because it doesn't work otherwise, you know. So you combine that with stuff like the fact that he really just has this mid-level civil servant job where he spends most of his time just, you know, going home and back, has a, you know, American Psycho like morning routine almost, where he like literally has his, you know, showers completely timed. It's something like he takes a 10-minute cold, or yeah, like a 3-minute hot shower and a 10-minute cold shower, you know, which might work for England because they meter their hot water a little differently. Yeah, I mean, his entire thing is that he, almost every single love interest that James Bond has in the novels is being emotionally manipulated in some way, either by him or somebody else.
I need to target something first.
Supposed to drop it for me. Or is incredibly naive, which again makes them incredibly vulnerable to emotional manipulation. Like Honey Chile, or Honey from Dr. No, her whole deal is that, you know, she is completely vulnerable. Like, she's really beautiful, but she has no idea how the world works outside of living on an island and skin diving. That's the long and short of who she is. She's like the daughter of naturalists, meaning, you know, people that study the natural world, not nudists. And yeah, she just lives a pretty simple life, and he kind of ruins it because he brings her home to England. Which is just kind of, well, kind of par for the course. But either way, next time you're watching a James Bond movie and you're kind of wondering, like, why he is the way he is, just keep in mind that his pecker don't peck in the way it's supposed to. No, he has no real, I don't want to say no real sex drive, because he has sex drive, but he doesn't experience it normally. He is far more like when you hear about quadriplegics developing an androgynous zone, just slightly above the place where they've been paralyzed. You know, that's what he is far more akin to. Kill this one. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that particular lesson. Let's go ahead and finish this thing out here. You guys deserve to see me finish out this hunt and get my dang. Oh, I'm in a Orbine!
It's too far. I don't have a target.
There we go. Leveling up hunts seem to be far more worthwhile than going through the pain of nightmare mode hunts. Not because they're hard, but just, my goodness, it's such a pain in the keister. Like, the thing that I like about Prey, or at least that I liked about it, is that I could do other stuff while I was doing it. But here I am, stuck basically only doing Prey. If I'm doing a nightmare mode, anyhow.
The scurrying rat has stopped to catch its breath. Eviscerate it.
Where's he at? Cool. I can turn this in, and then I can go to him, and then I can take the teleport into there. when that's all done, I should be right about here on levels, I think. But this part here should dig me. Yeah, Prey, I don't know. I don't know if I ever had high hopes for it. Oh, goodness, that dog.
With perseverance, strength.
Snoring dog.
A toast to our
Spend a talent point.
traders, masters of discretion, and defenders of Eversong.
He had a fast horse. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Really do like this Sunwalker set. Where am I at in my journey for the season? Oh, that close, huh? It's the month's almost up. I guess I better play more. Let's pick a fight. Oh no, he's got Ravager. That's okay. I've got Hammer of the Righteous. You.
Oh, how they raged. What fun.
Oh dang, I got real far. Cool. Got mount. Oh, that's the core. Let's quit that. 10. Transfer max. Okay. Yep. Just checking, seeing. Seeker's Hearthstone. That'll be next. Alrighty, so yeah, there's a quick tip for y'all too. If you want the praise stuff, but don't feel like doing the praise, at least not on Nightmare mode, there you are, and fantastic way to level up. Let's see. That. Oh, there we are. That on. Dining table. Secret thing. Place that. Place that. Okay. Alrighty, everybody. Have a good day. Good luck in your vaults. I don't know if I'll have a vault video or not, but at least you got this one. Bye.